Today is Friday. We're on our way to Jasper, but we stopped here at Parker Ridge to get a gander at the back of that glacier up there. So that would be the Saskatchewan Glacier, and it's where a lot of people come to see it here at the Icefields Parkway, at the Icefield Center. So we're going to climb up this ridge here, which is Parker's Ridge, and get to the top. You may be able to see people up there, and from up there we'll be able to take a look at the valley behind and the glacier that's there. It's a beautiful day today. It's probably getting close to 11 o'clock. Interesting point is from here we can look over there and see Wilcox Pass, and that would be a hike we've done a couple of times in the past. So for those of you who've been with us before, you might recognize it. Right off the bat, this trail looks kind of fun. We're going straight up and up and up and up. Hit some trees, but I'm sure we're going to get out of those pretty quick. We were just both saying that we really don't remember this hike. It's only a few minutes in. We've climbed a fair amount, so that's the highway down there. So we're gaining elevation pretty quick and hitting the occasional clearing. Stopping for a quick drink. A little of the ways up. I'd like to have told you that this was quite a ways, but I think we just started. So the view at this point is starting to really unfold. So we're smack dab in the middle of the switchbacks. There don't really seem to be too many trees between us and the top anymore. They're all kind of below us. So we are slowly making our way. And these switchbacks are a little more on the steep side. They kind of keep up and up and up, kind of at the edges here. We sure thought it would be a lot cooler up here. It's not too bad, bit of a cool breeze, but besides that, who can argue with this day? Just a fantastic day. Smoke doesn't seem to be much of an issue today, and that's where we've come from. So there's some switchbacks you can see, and then we're still going a bit higher up to the edge and beyond. We're following these little signposts here, and I'm thinking this might be either the way down or the way just to the end here. So we do have another option. A lot of people seem to be going up there. I guess we'll decide after we kind of catch up with where we're going here. We're starting now to get our first glimpse of the glacier. We've come a little ways along this edge here, and we are going to go, I think, a little bit further down this way. I may have to do some photos here because this is looking pretty fantastic. This whole valley that runs out. Now this is the Saskatchewan Glacier, and I'll tell you more about it in a minute. We made it to the end of the trail, as the picture shows. That is as much of the glacier as we're going to see from this end. It's the Saskatchewan Glacier, as I mentioned before. Here's a fun fact. This glacier is nowhere near Saskatchewan. However, it's called that because this is the headwater of the North Saskatchewan River, which runs out here and on through to Saskatchewan, through Saskatoon, and so on and so forth. We were going to stop and have a lunch here, but I'm finding it might be a bit folly for me. So we'll head back a little bit where I can have a nice lunch and a bit more leisure. We've stopped about halfway, looking back at the glacier, and so this is our lunch area. You can see we are getting something together. Yes, dinner time. Probably for the horseflies too. But yeah, so this is where we're going to have our dinner out on the deck today. So later in the day, we're on our way back. There's going to be a lot of people. A lot of people went up that way. We never did. But that's fine. I think this is the hike we were looking for today. You can certainly see a bit more activity on the hill today. People coming up, people going down. It's kind of the changeover. We're heading down, we're heading over there. The final few feet. Looks like there's a lot more people here now than when we first got here, but still a beautiful day. We're just sitting here at the water's edge at the end of the day. About half hour ago it was about 32 degrees still, 9 o'clock, and we're just sitting here. Now it's cooled off a little bit. We're sitting here just trying to enjoy an evening and cool off, watching the water and looking at the view. So here we're starting the Berg Lake Trail. We're going to probably just go up to Kinney Lake, and the parking lot's tray full, so this should be an interesting walk, dodging people, I think. So this is the trail. I think this goes pretty much to Kinney Lake in this condition. You can see the amount of people that even just ahead of us and around us, meaning that this is going to be well traveled, and so it should be an easy walk. I understand not really a lot of ups and downs, but I guess we'll discover for ourselves. If you can make it out, that's a peak. This is how smoky it is today. Probably shouldn't be hiking, but that's fine. I'm sure everything will work out. This is just off to the side of our trail. A bunch of trees that are all down. Not quite entirely sure what it's from, but I think I read something earlier about an avalanche area. So this might have been from avalanche years past. These are pretty big looking trees. If Krista goes and walks by one here, you'll see. So that's kind of interesting. Yeah. Big mountain, big trees. Cedars. Oh, there you go. This trail ends up, it's a pretty easy trail. You can see parts of it here are going to be actual boardwalks over this forest. This is actually a rainforest. Probably the humidity coming off of that river is helping feed it. You can see this stopped becoming a really major roaring river, and looks like it's starting to get to the start of this rapids. So this would be the lake. Excuse me. So this is Kinney Lake. We are here. There's a few picnic tables that we passed that we had people at, and so we decided to maybe press on. But unfortunately, if you look around here, that's the trail underwater. So you can go around it, but you're still slogging through muck and this and that. So I think we've decided we're going to just say this is as far as we get. Take a couple of photos in this smoky weather and make our way. Upon further reflection, we decided to push past that one muddy part and see if that's it. If maybe we can make it through. Looks like over on the other side, over there, there's a little bit of a rock shelf or something. So we'll see how bad this is going to turn out to be. Not to be outdone yesterday with our dinner spot, we kind of scrambled down to the edge of the lake. And this is where we are, just looking out across there at those people. We wanted to stay away from them, and we continue, and we just stopped here. We scrambled up this slope. Pretty fun stuff. Time for supper, or lunch rather, and just a little relaxation. We're all done. We're on our way back down, just past the end of the lake, and so we're just hitting trail now. So here we are, sitting. It's a little rainy, but not to be denied. We're going to be doing our happy hour.
Oh, lovely. Cheers.
On the deck. Well, we've boarded the bus now. We're heading off to the skyline. It is about 9 o'clock in the morning. There seems to be a lot of people out coming along as well, so we'll see how it all goes. It's 10 o'clock on Monday morning. Woke up to a lot of smoke and decided to push on. So we got our shuttle, 10 o'clock, almost on the nose, and we're hiking. It's a little chilly this morning, so we'll see how things go for us. But it's nice to get hiking, to get warmed up. We are just probably half a K or a K up the trail, and you can see there still are puddles. I don't think it's as bad as it was last year, but we do have to walk around or walk through. It's coming on 10:30. We are passing our first little lake. We'll see what the sign says here. I forgot the name of it already, but Lorraine Lake. That way. We'll be coming across Mona Lake shortly. With the mist in the trees, this makes it look a little bit like a magical, mystical rainforest. All the water drops coming off and the steam. So interesting. And here it is, 5 minutes later, and there's Mona Lake. Hi, Mom. As we hike up here, you can catch glimpses through the trees of Mona Lake on our right. A little bit of mist coming off. It's yeah, it's still a pretty beautiful day, even with the smoke and the rain. Just making our way. Haven't hit Evelyn Creek yet, but I find it very interesting that there's a bunch of people going the other way on this one. I thought most people did this trail in the direction we're going, but maybe they just did it as kind of hike to a camp spot and then hike back the next day. I guess we'll never know. It's 10 after 11, and we are just getting to Evelyn Creek. Made pretty good time. I guess we'll stop here for a bit of a break and continue on. Okay everyone, time for a break here at the Evelyn Creek Campground. We're going to crack open some bars and just have a little break before we head on up the trail. Smoke them if you got them. Short little break. A few people passed us on the way, but we're on our way after Evelyn Creek. I believe just around the corner we'll start the switchbacks, and then for the most part any muck we have should be gone. Well, we're deep into the switchbacks, so you can see here's another one. Hopefully halfway at least. It's about 1:45, and so yeah, it might be halfway. We've kind of stopped switchbacking, which I think must mean a couple of corners here we should be at the campground. This is just where we're going to lunch. From here we're going to go on to the Snow Bowl, Big Shovel Pass, and then down into Curator. Just a touch after 12, and we're here at Little Shovel Campground, and so we made pretty good time today. A couple hours. We eat our lunch here and then head on out. Well, we've cleaned the table up and we've packed up. We'll have to, it's pretty chilly out, so we're going to have to strip layers as we go. So once we warm up, we can take a layer off, and it's still pretty socked in. I think clouds mostly. Still some smoke you can smell in the air, but either way, we're on our way now. Just finished lunch and we're on the trail. As you can see, as you look out, everything is just socked right in. Mostly, I think mostly clouds, although it does still smell like smoke, so we might have to put up with that. Kind of got an open view here, so you can see how socked in we are. I'm just going along a little bit of a ledge. It's a little scary, but it's not too bad. As we make our way, you can see in the distance the pass. This is where we were last year, so should look somewhat familiar, although I don't know if we took any shots from here before. Before us we have the rolling hills of the pass. Windy trail, steep slopes. Again, as we commented last year, this is very beautiful in here. I was saying that to Krista that sure seems a lot different this year. But you know, right now you can see the flowers are just coming out. You can see all those purple, a lot of yellow. So it is showing a different face this year. It's 1:15 and we just made the pass. So that's still pretty good time. Of course, being a pass, it's got to be windy, so hopefully you can hear me over this wind. This is our first peek at the Snow Bowl. So you can see a little smoky. You can't see the notch from here because of the smoke, but we are on our way down now. So this will be a welcome break from all that uphill. And so down out of this pass and into the Snow Bowl. I think this is where last year we sat on a rock just up over there, a couple of rocks, and ate our lunch. As we get into the bottom of the Snow Bowl, we come across this stream. It's very picturesque. However, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking we have to cross this thing. It's very picturesque in the bottom of the snow bowl here, just as we climbed out of Little Shovel Pass. I've got this nice little babbling stream beside us, but it does come to my mind that we're gonna have to wade through that.
What?
Voila! Vibrant life in an alpine meadow. This place lights up late summer, late July, early August, with just color and activity everywhere. If not for the dismal clouds over us, it would really be a nice bright sight. It's 2 o'clock and we are just now leaving the Snow Bowl campground behind. Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
As we come out of the trees, you start to get a glimpse of where we're going. You can see the trail over there through the trees. So we'll wind around up, and somewhere there's a pass there that we're going to be fitting through. Another river crossing. Looks like this one might be a little bit easier as somebody put some planks of wood over it. We seem to be doing a bit of upward travel here, so I don't know if that means we've started our ascent, but I kind of think we're just still in the snow bowl, not really climbing up to that Big Shovel Pass. We'll find out probably in a few more corners here. Having said all that, let's get a chance to take a look at the view. It's fantastic. This really is a very beautiful place. Still on our way up to Big Shovel Pass. We're coming across a little bit of a valley to the right of us here that kind of leads up to our way. So I guess we're up and off. So we just come around a bit of a corner here, and it's kind of our first view, I think, of the pass. Right in the middle, to the right of the snow, is a notch. That's the notch. I'll be climbing that tomorrow. I think this is where we're starting our ascent into Big Shovel. It's just follow this ridge up, and hopefully a stiff climb and we're at the top. Big Shovel Pass, the ascent looks fairly straightforward. Just follow this path straight up the hill. Looks like we need to take a few breaks on the way up here and there. This is where we've made it to so far, and the trail keeps going up and over that ridge. This is way higher than I thought we needed to get, but it looks like we're finally getting there. If you can make it out here, I don't know if this is good enough, but you can see the signpost of the pass up there. I'm getting so close I can taste it. Just covering the last few feet to the signpost here. There's some odd hieroglyphics trying to tell me something. But Big Shovel Pass, 2286 meters. That is 86 meters higher than Little Shovel Pass. So standing here admiring the view, we notice how cold it is. That's snow. What? So this is what it looks like on the other side of the Big Shovel Pass. It's a decent enough view, very sparse. You notice all the snow at this altitude. It just probably never melts because it never gets enough sun. We see a zigzag pattern in that big wall there. I think that's coming down from the Watchtower trail. So I think the notch is further on. I'm not quite sure where, but I guess we'll see when we get there tomorrow. So still making our way to the campground, or to the lodge. There is the valley that takes you down the Wabasso Lake Trail. Ends up at the Wabasso Lakes on Highway 93. And we'll be going partway down it, and then we'll find our lodging there. We finally got down to the junction of going up to the notch, and there it is, all in its snowy glory. So right here, Outfitter Camp 1.2K, Curator 1K. We're going that way. Looks like we made it finally to the Curator campground, and you can see there's a few folks here already. And we finally made it. And just as we came down here, the sun came out briefly. So all is right with the world. So this is our cabin. We've got it's a little dark in here because we just don't have a lot of light coming through the window, but it's pretty small, but you know, it should really work out. It's better than a tent either way. Right now we're waiting for the old heater to heat up. Propane heat and propane light. I don't want to get too far into there, but yeah, it should be a really good
I just gonna ask. Would you pass or would you? Yeah. Okay, pass.
As long as she doesn't end up beating us all.
I have the wise one here to ask. So it's Andre, Max, and
So we've woken up this morning, on Tuesday morning, to a nice bright day. The smoke seems to have cleared for the most part out, so we can actually see some definition in these mountains. If we went this way, we would end up going down Wabasso Lake to the highway. We'll be going up this way and up and around, so that's the notch. The night was fitful sleeping, but it was in a bed and a cabin, so can't complain too much. Well, we finally got back to where we went down to the camp. We finally got down to where we turned to go back down to the camp, so that would have been 1.2 kilometers down and then back straight up, and the camp was like way deep down in there. Today it's 9:24. It took us about 25 minutes to get here, and we're going to be going where that white snow is and over the edge. Well, we're slowly making our way. This is the warm-up before the notch. Huge boulders by the side, And I think that might be a sliver of a trail up there. This here would be Curator Lake, fed kind of by whatever snow accumulates up there. And we'll be skirting it. And now the trail's starting to become Curator Lake. Blue lake. I don't know if the pictures here will do it justice, but it looks really nice. Well, I can see some people ahead of us there. So it looks like we're pretty much getting right into it now. Okay, good luck. This is a bit of an approach, but this part's a little bit rough. It's stepping over boulders and then you kind of lose where the trail goes for a bit. It's on our way up, and there's Krista's doing Mountaineer's Cadence. And it's you count to 10. In the first 5 or 6 steps you do steps. And the next counts you just count the rest of the way to 10 with standing still. It's very effective for going up hills and keeping a steady pace. You can see folks ahead of us up there. They are actually in a good spot, so for them they can taste it. We'll be there in a little while, but as far as that goes, look how far we've come. So we're making good. We are getting pretty close. You can see those folks up there just cresting. So good for them. Their morning has just become a lot easier. We are doing the mountain cadence to get up there. It's cold this morning. I'm sure when we woke up it was 0. And the higher we go, the cooler it's getting. The sun's out, so it's warmed up a little bit, but you know, between the exertion and the wind, it's kind of balancing themselves out. That helicopter just came through the notch there. Well, that was really interesting to see him fly that low across the notch. We are definitely at the steep part. You can see Krista making her way there. And it's slippy and almost straight up here. I seem to be at the point now where I think I can just sprint up the rest, but I think there's a bit more yet. But if you take a look at our view so far, crikey. By George, I think this is almost it. Well, a little bit of a walk here. I'll finish it off on video, just so you can see how this goes. All that climbing, and now we are at the highest elevation on the Great Divide Trail. That's what the notch is. So get to the top. There is the signpost to make it official. It looks like everybody's buggering off to go up there. I'm not doing that. And here is ye old notch. And there's the view. And there's my warrior wife making her way up. How to be, babe? High five. Well, this is the other side of the notch. Just a windy trail. I think we're going to follow that ridge up there. So there'll be a little bit of up, a little bit of down. And we would normally be seeing things like Mount Robson in the distance, but unfortunately that smoke is just not playing with. This is why it's called the skyline. You can see we're basically walking among the peaks here, right the line of the mountains again. just like the rest of this trip seems to be going. Realize that this skyline part was as long as traipsing along. I guess keep on. This is the top. It's Jasper Valley. How smoky it is, you can't even see the mountains across this valley. That's crazy. Anyways, let's hope we start going down soon. It's cold and windy, and yeah, this is a little too much like it would hurt. We just popped over the edge back there, and we're starting to get a glimpse here of, I believe this is the valley we're going to go down into. I don't know where the trail's leading quite yet, but hopefully we come over this edge and we see something. In this landscape, it's constantly changing. We went from being right out on the edge to now we're in this big rock pile. The trail's not bad. I suspect after we're out of this, we're going to start switchbacks going down into the valley, the Takara Valley. We're looking forward to that because this wind is cold. I said cold, son. We're onto some pretty decent views here. That's the trail up ahead. And you can see the switchbacks going down. There's that lake. From that lake, a little stream flips out and passes by the Takara campground, which is probably where those trees are in the distance. We'll be heading back there. We'll be heading down there. Just a walk down the valley. The wind has calmed down a little as we go down here, and the sun is weak, but it's got a little heat to it still. So this is turning into a nice walk. This seems to be the turnaround point, kind of getting to the end of these switchbacks and hitting those down there, and just walks us down the valley. So just walking along the Takara Valley. It's have to cross a few streams. Some of them are a little dicey, but for the most part, it's just an easy walk. Trail could be a little rocky at times, but beyond that, it looks like we just kind of. Bit of a group of them, just heading on by. Still another one up there.
Keep it going there, dude.
Mount Takara in all its glory. So we'll just I think we're coming into the Takara campground here. So I thought I would start showing you what it looks like coming into camp. This here, I haven't been here for years and years and years, but it looks like the camping area. And we'll follow this down and maybe see if we can find where the outhouse is, if it's self-evident or not. Oh, there's a nice sign. Will tell us what's going on. There's a few tent spots here and there. Signal campground's 5K. Curator was 12K, so we just came 12K. How about that? So it's somewhere around 1:30. We are just going around the shoulder of Signal Mountain. So we've crossed the stream from Takara campground and just making our way up. I think there's a little bit of uphill here. I don't know how much. Hopefully not too much before we hit that next campground, which is at the 5K mark. We seem to be getting above the tree line on Signal here. You can see if I show a picture of around what this valley looks like. We've been climbing pretty steadily since we crossed that river. So I think we just keep going up and around and then down the other side. But all I know is it's probably somewhere around 4 a ways up Signal Mountain. We're just kind of in a plateau area, and they're kind of just rolling hills up and down. We've certainly done a lot of climbing, and you can see over to the side there's mountains across the valley that we can't really make out with this smoke. Either way, we're just going to keep on. It's amazing how many parts of this trip I don't remember. This whole valley I don't really remember going through before. And it's beautiful enough, I guess, but I guess we're continuing on. Now we're climbing a bit more, and hopefully that brings us around to the front of the mountain. So we're just waiting to see the fire road, and as we break through the trees here, there it is. So this is right the start of the fire road, and I think the campground is just down a little ways. An interesting point, you can ride bikes up here, so that's kind of a fun thing. And we would be going down. So this is the Signal Mountain campground. We're not going to go in because we don't want to walk as much, we want to walk as little as we can. To Caro, they said it was 5 clicks to get here, but here they say it's 6 clicks to get to Caro. So no wonder we thought it was a little longer than it needed to be. This is the fire road. We're going to be going down. It's 9 kilometers to the trailhead, and evidently there's bear activity here, so I do have bear spray. So we'll just have to keep our eyes open, and I guess that means we have to keep up a conversation all the way down. Okay, it sounds like we're on our way. We will just slog down this road until we find our car. Well, we're still slogging down the fire road here. It's 5 o'clock. According to my handy dandy GPS, if this truly is a 26 kilometer day, then we probably have about 1 kilometer left to go. The trail signs, however, speak to a different story, where depending on what I believe, it could be anywhere between 1 and 3 more kilometers. So let's pray it's the 1 kilometer. It was probably closer to 27 and a half kilometers, but we're here now. It's smokier than hell here. I can feel it sticking in my throat, but so I'm glad I'm off the trail. I guess we're just gonna head, just coming around the corner here, and we can see our truck. So that was not 26 kilometers, it was probably 6:30 in the morning, and we are just leaving. You can see there are no mountains here. It's all a figment of our imagination, and they're going to hide them from us until the moment we're gone, and then it'll probably be nice and clear. It's been a great vacation. Talk to you later.